Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick, your creativity and spiritual life coach. Welcome to Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations, and welcome to a new series of episodes where I'll be sharing with you things that have inspired me and contributed to my personal growth and the desire to change my life. These can include songs, speeches, quotes, books, conversations, podcasts and people. And in this first episode, I'm sharing with you about the impact of a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. A quote from that book: "Most people consider life a battle, but it is not a battle. It is a game. It is a game, however, which cannot be played successfully without the knowledge of spiritual law." And before delving into that a little bit deeper, I just want to share with you some ways that I can support you. Firstly, you're listening to this episode, and if you haven't already, I'd encourage you to join the mailing list. You'll receive emails with additional teaching points and resources for you to explore, in addition to listening to the episode. Also, I want to tell you about my course, Your Awakened Voice. This is for you if you are wanting to use your voice, whether that means you're launching your own podcast, showing up online, public speaking, or even just want to be more vocal in your life. I've created this course for you, and it uses my holistic approach that acknowledges the connection between your physical body, mind, and spirit. This is about encouraging you to empower and develop your voice. Or if you're ready to enter into a more intimate container with me on a one-to-one basis, I'm working in particular with women over 40, helping you to trust your intuition, rediscover your innate creativity, and use your decades of wisdom to design a purposeful life. All the links to these offers and information are in the show notes. So on to the episode. Another quotation from the book: "So we see, to play successfully the game of life, we must train the imagining faculty." So in my late 20s, I was introduced to this book, and I believe it was probably one of the first personal development books that I read, and it was suggested to me by a guy that I was dating at the time, which is, when I think about it, really unusual because these were not the kind of conversations we were having. Then thinking about it, there must have been something that I was saying to him that prompted him to recommend this book to me, because he said that his, I think, grandma used to read it. And the title itself intrigued me because I'd never perceived that life could be a game. And even though I'd had dreams for a very young girl about going out into the world and doing my own thing, and I was determined to go for those dreams, there were still many things that I believed about life that I didn't realise were making my life harder. This book gave me a really new perspective on how to live my life, how I could actually steer my life. And also she referenced the Bible, and that was very much my background. So that meant that it wasn't too much of a leap for me to go from coming from the church and going directly into teaching such as this. There was a bridge that went over the two. About the book, Florence Scovel Shinn was an American woman who lived from 1871 and passed in 1940. And she was part of a movement called the New Thought movement, which came out of the United States around the late 19th century and into the earliest 20th century. And this was a modern spiritual philosophical trend, and very much was about the power of positive thinking, visualization, and encouraging people to harness their own creative power to be able to achieve success and fulfillment in their lives. The Game of Life and How to Play It was a book that was released in 1925, and it was her first book and probably the book that she's most known for. And the key concepts in this book and the teachings presented are not necessarily revolutionary to us. If you're the kind of person who is interested in personal growth and spirituality in 2024, these are things that you would have heard of before. Positive thinking, affirmations, the power of the subconscious mind. But in that time, these were revolutionary concepts. Some of her key concepts from the book were: we are playing a game. Our thoughts and our words are shaping the events of our life. Our subconscious mind is a power. There is a power of love. The idea of following your intuition, the idea of using faith, which again links back to the Bible, the idea of the power of fear and overcoming fear, the power of your imagination, using affirmations, and how gratitude impacts your life. So when I came across a book like this, and as I say, these were not things that I'd ever heard of before, it was a revelation to me to realise that I wasn't doomed to a life of fate and suffering and then waiting for the ever after to find my peace. And what she was laying out was that I really had control and I really had a chance to change and shape my future. She was laying out practical tips and exercises that I was able to apply to my life. And as I mentioned before, like listening to these ideas in 2024 seems like a no-brainer, but I came to this book in 1998, roundabout. That was already about 70 years after it had been released. Then I realised the more that I looked into these books and the more that I started to discover and delve into the whole personal development and spirituality field, and I would have said this probably really was the dawn of my exploration into that field, was that it had already had a big influence, and the New Thought movement and the names within it, of which Florence Scovel Shinn was one, had already had a big influence on names like Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, who were kind of the big names of the 70s, 80s, 90s, but also names that had preceded them. And also remember, this was still about a decade or so before The Secret became big news and the idea of the law of attraction became mainstream. So I just want to share with you some of the top quotes and the excerpts from the books that especially resonated with me then, and also I can see align with what higher energetic resonance and my whole message and my whole branding is all about. Speak the word and then do not do anything until you get a definite lead. Demand the lead, saying, Infinite Spirit, reveal to me the way. Let me know if there is anything for me to do. The answer will come through intuition or hunch, a chance remark from someone or a passage in a book. What I love about this quote is being in faith that the answer will come to you if you put it out there, if you say a prayer, if you meditate on something that you want and wait in expectation and still be doing the work expecting that it's going to come, is that it will come. You just have to be in awareness and open to the fact that these ideas can come from anywhere. And I'm sure we've all had an experience where sometimes you might be having a conversation with somebody and they say something that sparks an idea or answers a question that you may have had. I've heard stories of people saying that books fall in front of them and open on a particular page that they read, and suddenly it changes your life. And my introduction to this book was from somebody who recommended the book, and to be honest, I never saw him again anyway, but the book was pivotal in really opening up this path that I'm on right now. Looking back on it, I can see there must have been a part of me that was asking for something or needing some sort of guidance or redirection in my life, and this is how it came. And another quote from her, which is all about recognizing your worth. There is nothing too great of an accomplishment for the man who knows the power of his word and who follows his intuitive leads. By the word he starts in action, unseen forces can rebuild his body or remold his affairs. This follows on from the previous one, is when you get that inspiration, when you get those ideas to do something, is to take action, start moving forward, because it's as you start moving forward that unseen forces, that the universe responds to your action and your projects and your ideas and your dreams start to unfold in ways that you can never imagine for yourself. And however you choose to take steps forward, there will be something meeting you and placing in front of you the next step, the next idea, the next thing that you need to move. But you need to move. And when she talks about faith, she must say, man must prepare for the thing he has asked for when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight. And I'm sure we all know about believing in our dreams, believing in the things that are being shown to us, being delusional, ignoring our reality in the present tense, but moving towards our dreams. And this quote that she says that refers to your unique expression. There is for each man perfect self-expression. There is a place which he is to fill and no one else can fill. Something which he is to do, which no one else can do. It is his destiny. And this is the idea that you in your authenticity will have no competition, even if there are many other people who are working within your field, whatever that is. As long as you're being true to yourself, you will be unique and you will stand out, and people who need whatever it is that you're offering will come to you solely because of that reason. At the end of the book, she includes many affirmations, and this affirmation I share with you now is an affirmation for guidance. And this is, I am divinely sensitive to my intuitive leads and give instant obedience to thy will. Move in the energy and understanding of this. And what that one means to me is to know that I'm waiting for that spark, I'm waiting for that prod of knowing that this is the direction that I need to go. If you're not joined up already, I encourage you to join the email list for additional points. Also, I'll be including a link to a PDF as well, so that you can read the book yourself. And here also is a beautiful affirmation for you to meditate upon. Infinite Spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest. Let the genius within me now be released. Let me see clearly the perfect plan. Thank you for joining me on this new series where I share with you the things that have inspired me and guided me on my own creativity and spiritual journey. Once again, I encourage you to join the mailing list because I'll be able to direct you to a free PDF of this book, and it's a fascinating book, you know, and I realise in 2024 there may be a little bit resistance that everything is referred to as man and he, but let's look at what the book is telling us. There's a lot of wisdom in this book, and if you're able to look through the book, if it's something of interest to you, and see how it could potentially benefit you without being, you know, triggered and upset by the wording that's used. Remember, this was released in 1925, pretty much 100 years ago. So there are many things that we might consider to be outdated, but also there is an everlasting truth that we're still abiding by today. If you want to find out more about me, you can join me on my website. It's carolmaywhittick.com, CarolMaywhittick.com. Connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn, Carol May Whittick, or on Instagram, Casmic, CAZMICK. And also, if you are enjoying this series, I encourage you and invite you to leave a review on the platform that you're watching. So until the next episode, see you again. Enjoy. Bye-bye.